Hey Zwifters, welcome to No Breakaways, your source for all the Zwift racing tips and tricks. We're rolling out a cool new feature this week where we're interviewing a couple qualifiers for the first ever World Championships. Today, we're going to catch up with Ryan Larson from Team USA, and tomorrow, Jordan Shane from Team Canada. We're also going to be hosting a live interview with Jordan, Ryan, and hopefully a couple other athletes Monday, December 7th at 6 p.m. Central Time, so make sure to set a reminder for that live stream here on the No Breakaways page. Hey Ryan, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're super excited. It was so cool to hear about the e-cycling championships and that you and then you made it.
Yeah, it's super exciting. Can't wait to the December 9th to come around. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so are you going to get to don the USA kit while you're cycling?
That is what I'm hoping. So I mean, from what I'm hearing, that's probably what's gonna happen. Haven't seen any physical, jerseys come in yet, but I'm really hoping it's gonna be pretty cool.
Do you know what it's going to
So
look like in game too?
so in game, I'm pretty sure. I think I think 2 months ago, the U.S. national team got an invite to one of the pro-ams, and their kit was already in there. So I assume it's that kit, the normal, red, white, and blue with the black bottom. So
Nice.
I haven't gotten it in my garage yet. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, so now Holden won't be the only one, huh?
Exactly.
Awesome. So we kind of wanted to know a little bit about how you got here, what you're doing. So maybe tell us a little bit about how you got into cycling and your progression.
So I got into cycling. I mean, probably my first road bike was probably when I was in elementary school. I had an old Trek. So my family's been, riding bikes, pretty much as long as I can remember. Competitively, not so much until my brother started riding competitively once he got out of college. So we were both runners in high school, ran collegiate NCAA. So due to a lot of injuries, after running, we decided to take up biking because that's really, what we knew. So did that after I moved to New Jersey from Florida, and just kind of took off from there. Found some local guys, and yeah, that's how it started. Started Cat 5. Um, Currently, I'm a Cat 3. Haven't raced much since I have gotten more serious on Zwift. Do some cyclocross as well. We kind of last minute we got a thing where USA Cycling was just like, "Hey, we're gonna have a trials for Worlds. Top 3 are gonna be in."
So
And
what do you mean by last minute? Like week,
it
2 weeks?
was I would say a week. It was like a week that they were like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do. Here's the event. You can sign up through Bike Reg," and um, yeah, they kind of gave a description of how RGT works, whatever. So we downloaded it. You know, um, spent about a couple of days that week trying to figure it out because the physics of it is nowhere near like Zwift. It's very, very different. It's very like touchy.
Yeah.
It's like on or off. It's not. It's hard to smooth it out. So um, we the race was I think a Sunday. So a whole bunch of the guys of our team, I think 5 total, did it, and um, we ended up. I think the top 3 was Tyler, Jordan, and I forget the other one. But so I ended up getting 5th on that. Top 3 makes it in automatically. And afterwards, I was a little bummed. I was like, but they had they sent an email saying that they were looking for 2 additional people, and that was all going to be based on petitioning, pleading your case why you should be on the team. So I like that because like RGT, it's not the same as Zwift. So we were kind of like, why are they doing it on a different platform that has nothing to do with Zwift? It's kind of weird. It's like going outside and racing in real life to put people on Zwift. It's completely different.
Yeah.
But we, accepted what we needed to do and did it. So I ended up having to petition. I listed all my events that I've done, all my pro-am events, all the guys that are going to be at that race. I I pretty much listed that I was the top American finisher on 85% of those races, and practically just pleaded my case of why they should add me to the team. And then I also explained, based on the course, how it suits me, how I'm an all-around guy. It's not going to take us, it's probably not going to come down to um, a Pier Watts. At that time it was the volcano finish, so they actually changed the course.
So what's the
So the
course
course,
now?
figure eight reverse, but instead of 2 full laps, it's 1.6 laps, and you finish on the top of hilly KOM.
Oh, okay.
So so initially it was on volcano finish. So I was saying it's not going to be a sprinter's, it's not going to be a sprinter's game. It's going to be an all-around person who's punchy. So I did that, and next day I got you know, an email saying that I was added to the team. So yeah, so it kind of worked out in that way too. So training, I don't do a lot of training and organized or planned training like you would go on to like what Zwift Academy has right now. I usually don't do that stuff. Mainly my training is racing, which most of the guys on our team, that's the same, same thing. Um, During those races, I may, if I want to work on my sprint for the day, I may sit in more. If I want to work on, you know, minute powers or 5 minute power, I may try to break away. So I kind of do training within the races without totally blowing myself up. So I still have a chance to actually try to win the race. So that's most of my training. There are a few things I like to do um, just if I'm riding around. If I'll do repeats of hilly KOM um, forward. So basically, it's that you come under the bridge, you wrap around, come across, and it's about a minute. If you're in a regular pro am race, or an A group, you'll probably get up there about 1:30. So I try to do repeats of under 1:30 over and over again. And so that's kind of how that's a good minute power, and it's I don't know, it's more motivating than just going out and trying to hit a minute power just by, you know, counting on it. You have like a finish line. So I like doing that a lot. I know some of the other guys do on the team. Um, but
Great.
for Worlds itself, um, I'll be doing a lot more like I did repeat 1 minutes over and over again because that's what it's going to be. I mean, I got the FTP down. I don't have to work on my FTP. It's going to be that after you're have gone through the reverse yeah, I think it's the reverse KOM we go up to. But yeah, after you have a full lap of 5.0, you're going to have to be able to crank out that 1.5 minutes all out all the way to
Yeah.
the top. So right now, the past few weeks, I've been probably in a pretty big training block. I know I've been doing Zwift Academy stuff, so I'm trying to keep up with that as well as keeping up with the racing with the guys in the community. Um, so I probably race Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I probably 3 or 4 times a week. Mondays usually don't do anything racing wise. Saturdays and Sundays I usually don't, race Saturday or Sunday. I may go outside and ride. Um, so it's usually 3 to 4 times a week that I race. So I don't think I'm gonna change that up too much. As I get closer, I'll probably, roll it back a little bit. Maybe only do a race every week. 'Cause I don't wanna come completely off and my legs, be flat. But I don't want to be so destroyed that that and I'm very big on not changing up what you do. I think a lot of people like they'll change up their eating or they'll change up their whole bunch of other stuff for a month or they'll try to drop some weight or they'll do something that they're not used to and it kind of negatively affects them. So I try to stick with the same thing and you know, not really change it up too much.
Yeah. So, as far as the team setup, do you guys have like a DS, and who is that, and how is that going to work?
So I got an email today. The DS has not been um, announced yet. So I assume I don't know if it's going to be a rider, someone who is familiar with Swift. Hopefully that's what they do. They don't add someone who's not. I don't know how they're gonna pick leaders. I assume there's gonna be a person that everyone's working for, because I know we have sprinter. So of course it comes down to a sprint. They're gonna try to do lead outs. I'm sure there's gonna be people keeping control of the pack if someone tries to, break away. Um, so that hasn't been discussed yet. And I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm not, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard because a lot of those, the coach, actually, yeah, the coach and the elite director of USA Cycling, he doesn't really know us personally. He's never physically seen us, so it's kind of hard to, you know, I guess he's gonna have to go off of, Swift Power and see people's, what they're good at, what they're, not as good at to kind of pick that. If they're gonna do that at all. I mean, they may just say, race how they do what you guys do, and just let's see. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an interesting like wrinkle that they haven't seen you, they don't know you, like probably don't know the game as well as you guys, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I know some of the guys on our team too, are not. I think most of the guys we race are in the Premier League. So all the guys on the USA team are familiar with Swift. So which is good. We are hoping that um, initially before they announced all of this, trials and stuff, we were hoping that USA Cycling was going to allow the community people to actually do it. We are hoping. I know other countries are just kind of picking people who may be from outside, coming inside, trying to do it, and that doesn't always. If they don't know the platform, you're probably not going to succeed very well. So that's what we really did like about USA Cycling is they actually, you know, they kind of um, they picked everyone that I think would be willing to win the race. So,
Yeah.
which is good. I was hoping no politics are getting involved, and it seems like they didn't. So, if it's going to, which 90% of the time I think it's this how it's going to play out, it's going to come down to that last forward KOM, and it's going to require staying close to the front all the way up to where it kind of flattens out, and then you have that like 100-meter stretch to the finish, that KOM. It's going to have to be close to the front there, and whatever you have left, with a little bit of luck to get on the right wheel, and probably the right power up um, to get to the finish.
So
So
power-ups
that's
are enabled.
I assume power ups are going to be enabled. Um, every elite race that we've done with pro-ams and stuff, since Zwift is running them, of course they want to use you know, their gamification.
Yeah,
And and after saying that, when I looked at the rule book, there is gamification in there. So there should be power ups.
super interesting and fun.
Yeah, it will. So, and that's the thing too. You think about, what's the best when you're going through is, I assume the arrow power up is going to be probably what you want. Individuals who may not have the best climbing ability may want a feather power up to get over, and then they can sprint once they're over the top. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Some people, I mean, if Ghost is enabled,
Yeah,
someone could try to go early. So yeah, it's definitely that finish is definitely going to be chaotic, but it's probably one of the best finishes that could happen um, for me. So hopefully it plays out like I think.
yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, yeah, Ryan, do you have anything you want to talk about, want to promote before we go?
Only thing. So I just want to thank. I already mentioned earlier about my team. Um, so we were initially when I started indoor specialist. Now we're Saracen Pros Closet. Um, so they've allowed us to do all these pro-ams, get our name out there. They provide us trainers. They've provided us the Pros Closet has provided us equipment that we need to be successful. If that's getting Di2, getting a whole new bike. So yeah, it's really awesome. If it wasn't for our sponsors, Saracen the First Closet, we would not be where we currently are. and it's also for Matt Gardner, Matt Brandt, and Holden. Those three have worked really close to Saris and the Pros Clause to actually get these, get the sponsorships and get us moving forward. So everything with that and everything together, the team wouldn't be where we are, and I'm pretty sure we probably wouldn't be. I wouldn't be in Worlds if it wasn't for them. So yeah, can't thank them enough. And
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for joining me. I appreciate it.
well, thanks, Rick. I appreciate it.
All right, Zwifters, that's our show for today. Thanks a lot to Ryan Larson for stopping by. If you like the show, please click like and subscribe below. And remember to tune in tomorrow to see the interview of Jordan Shane from Team Canada.